Okay, so this is the continuation of solving square root equations. So we're doing solving square root equations for the next couple of days, including tomorrow. Alright, anyways, so you want to isolate the square root. We're going to isolate the square root. So you got to get rid of the negative 3. So I'm going to add 3 to both sides. When I add 3, I get x plus 3. You can't actually combine them. And I have square root of 4x plus 8. Okay.
Could you zoom in just a little more?
So the answer was no, it's not big enough.
That's what she said.
Whoa! Word. Do you need to zoom in more?
No.
Alright. Now, once you get here, you're going to square both sides to get rid of the radical. I am getting rid of the square root by squaring it. So on the left side, it turns into x squared plus 6x plus 9 equals, and then the right side is just 4x plus 8. Was your about how did I get x plus 3 squared to turn into x squared plus 6x plus 9?
Yes.
Yes. Alright. So I'm going to write that over here on the side. If I have x plus 3 squared, that's going to be x plus 3 times x plus 3, right? So you do x times x is x squared. X times 3 is 3x. 3 times x is 3x. 3 times 3 is 9. Now, this pattern is always the same. Now, so what's the pattern? The first one is squared. X squared is x squared. 3 squared is 9. You're going to have this 3x twice. So it's always x times 3, that's the 3x, times 2, 6x. So the first one being squared and the second one being squared, that's what you usually want to do, which is incorrect. Okay? But x squared, and then the 9, and then there's a middle term. What's the matter?
Sorry.
Why don't you sit here, Andy? Come on, you're a sport. Okay. Well, that's worse. That's worse, Andy. That's not better.
I'm sorry, Andy.
Andy, there's a free spot right here. Hey, here, guys, an extra spot. Andy just doesn't want to see it.
All right. Now, I'm going to move the 4x and the 8. So I'm going to subtract 4x and subtract 8. Subtract 4x, subtract 8. So that's going to be x squared plus 2x plus 1 equals 0.
You saw the pepper.
I'd rather you didn't have to do it this way.
Yeah, but I found the birthday.
Alright, so now you're going to factor this. So what are the factors of 1? So you're going to do, what are the factors of 1 that combine to make 2? So it'll be 1 times 1. So it'll be x plus 1 times x plus 1. So what I have, I'm going to set each factor equal to 0. Well, there's only the one factor. So I'll do that one. X equals negative 1. If you skip this step, the x plus 1 equals 0, and go straight to x equals negative 1, that is perfectly fine. Just make sure the sign is correct. Notice it's plus 1 up here, positive 1 up here, but it's negative 1 when I say it's what it's equal to. Half of you, when you skip this step, get the sign wrong, which is why I'm taking this step here. Alright, so I only have one possible solution, and I'm going to plug it in to find out if it works. So, I'm copying the original problem, just to remind you what we're doing. This is the original problem. plug in -1, so it is -1 equal to -3 plus square root 4 times -1 plus 8.
Why is there a question mark?
Because I'm asking the question, are they the same? So it's -1 equal to -3 plus square root. So 4 times -1 is -4. So the left side is not changing. -4 plus 8 is 4. Square root of 4 is 2. And -3 plus 2 is -1. So yes, that worked. The next question most students or many students ask is, do I have to check my answer? All right, here's how I'm going to answer that question. If the answer you get is the actual answer and you don't check the answer, you have full credit because I'm only looking for the answer. But if the answer you get has to be rejected, now you lose half your points. You understand that? So let's say x equals -1 doesn't work. Now you have got the answer wrong because you still chose to say x equals -1 is the answer. But if x equals -1 doesn't work, then the answer is no solution.
Okay, so if you don't check it and you put x equals -1 and then it was like rejected and no solution, then you get half credit?
Yes. All right. So my suggestion is work all the problems. Once you're done with all the problems, go back and check the answers. That way you can at least finish the test. And there's another F. All right, example K.
You have a pie tattoo?
No, I do not.
What is that?
This?
Yeah.
That's the Torii symbol from a Japanese gate.
Is it a tattoo? Is it a tattoo?
I can't.
Huh? No, that's the letter U.
That looks like pie to me.
Yeah, it looks like pie, buddy.
Really?
Oh, for real, Sherlock?
There's like two people standing on a.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh wait, no, that's an F.
Yeah, I see that.
All right, K.
It'll look like a toilet.
It's a toilet.
That's
Oh yeah, that's it. I drew a toilet on my hand. All right.
Yup.
You guys know we're being recorded, right?
very much.
Okay. Is that big enough or did I write too small? Alright, this is example K. So, the square root's already it's by itself, so you're going to square both sides. So that'll be b minus 4 equals, wow, that's a mistake.
Yeah, I thought it was like
B squared minus 8b plus 16 equals 6b minus 29. Right? When you square square root, those two cancel, so you just have 6b minus 29. So I square the b, I double the 4, and I square the 4. Whatever sign that is, I keep that sign. If that's minus, I keep put a minus here. But this one is always plus when you square a binomial.
So it's square, double square.
Yeah. Square, double square. Alright. Move things over, so I'm going to subtract 6b from both sides. And I'm going to add 29 to both sides. That gives me b squared minus 14b plus 45 equals 0. what are the factors of 45 that combine to make negative 14?
Negative 5, negative 9.
Negative 5, negative 9. So it'll be b minus 5, b minus 9. So what are my answers? B equals positive 5, B equals positive 9. Now we'll pause while you catch up. Alright, so I'm going to check these answers. So remember the original problem was b minus 4 equals square root of 6b minus 29. By the way, I will not be checking your checks. If you can do this in your head, or you can do it on the calculator, that is perfectly okay. Okay? Just make sure you do it correctly on the calculator. So I'm going to plug in the 5. So that's 5 minus 4 on the left. And on the right, it's 6 times 5 minus 29. Right? So when I say put it in your calculator, you want to put it one side at a time. Put 5 minus 4 in. That's going to give you a 1. Put square root of 6 times 5 minus 29 in. That's going to give you, well, I'm going to show all my steps for here. Right? 6 times 5 is 30 minus 29. 1, is that equal to square root of 1? Yes, that's equal to 1. So the 5 works. So 5 works.
You don't have to do the other one?
Yes, I'm going to do the other one. So I'm going to do 9. So that'll be 9 minus 4. Is that equal to square root of 6 times 9 minus 29?
Quick question.
Yes.
Can both, like, say you get like 2 separate numbers, or they both work?
Yes.
Could that be possible?
We're about to find out. 9 minus 4 is 5. 6 times 9 is 54. Minus 29. 54 minus 29 is 25. What's square root of 25? So that worked. So it has both answers. So go back and circle your answers or highlight them or say, yes, accept both of them. Something to let me know those are my answers. Ready for L? So you were commenting on my pie tattoo. I want to get this tattoo. What was it? Oh, Sarah tweeted. That's an infinity symbol. 2. 1 over x squared plus 1.
Ooh. Oh yeah, like same, bro. Like I want.
So see,
that too,
there's
bro.
the infinity symbol, there's a math integration symbol, and there's pi. And then you put it on my forearm. You put it on my forearm.
What is it equal
Like
to?
help
Like nothing.
It's equal to pi.
I mean, like, is there,
Okay, is that like
is there like a use
formulas?
for that equation that just look cool?
Make like a fresh assumption.
That's how you find pi.
Oh, really?
You can use this equation to approximate pi to 1,000,000 decimal places. Right? That's when you don't actually use infinity. You use something like 9,999,999. Or you can use 999,999,999,999.
Good.
All right. Let's continue. L. Example L. Okay, this is where it gets really bad. So if you thought the previous ones were bad, this is where it gets really bad.
Yeah.
Okay? However, this is as bad as it gets. It will not get worse than this.
Yeah, it will.
Alright? I'll give everybody 1 point for not whining today.
Yay.
1 point is way that much.
The PBIX rewards
officially
thing.
have 2 points because I literally only have 1.
Alright, so I have 2 square roots, and there's a minus sign between them. You don't want them to be on the same side. So I'm going to get rid of the one with the minus sign and move it over to the other side. So that would make it square root of 2x minus 7 equals 2 plus the square root of 9 minus x.
Okay. Oh, never mind.
Okay, that wasn't the difficult step. Here comes the difficult step.
I know, I was just.
I am now going to square both sides. So squaring the left side is not a big deal. The square root just goes away. Squaring the right side? Watch this black magic. 2 squared is 4. Bring down the plus. Double the 2. Attach it to the 9 minus x. The square root of 9 minus x. Plus square root of 9 minus x. So it's 9 minus x.
Wait a minute. Do that over again?
Alright, I'm going to do it again on separate paper, okay? I'm going to go a little slower. Alright, so 2 plus square root of 9 minus x. I'm squaring that, right?
Yeah.
So I'm doing this on separate paper. So you square that, so that's 4, right? Bring down that sign, that's plus. Remember that 2 times this? That pattern of double this.
Yeah.
Remember, Carly, you said double the middle.
Yeah.
So I'm doubling the 2 into this. So 2 times 2 is 4, and tag on the square root of 9 minus x. Plus, I am squaring the square root of 9 minus x.
Oh.
That-
Well, that doesn't seem that.
It's not.
Oh.
Yeah.
Once you, okay, whenever you understand anything, then it's easy. Alright, then square root of 9 minus x squared, just 9 minus x.
Okay.
Alright, so yeah, you can get rid of the square root. I will pause while you catch up.
Now, how did you get the 4 plus 4?
This 4 or this 4?
That 4.
Okay. So remember, whenever you square something, you're going to take this thing, multiply by this, and then double it. Like Carly said, square the first one, double the second one, and square the last one.
What if there's no
So square the
variable?
first
Like
one.
no 2? Like,
Okay, let's say it was a 3.
No.
Then it'd be 6.
No.
If it were 1, then it'd be 2. If it were x, then it'd be 2x.
I mean, if it was like, if the 2 just disappeared.
2 cannot disappear. If it disappears, then you just have square root of 9 minus x squared. Then you just square that. If there is no binomial, then there's nothing to worry about. If you just square the square root of 9 minus x, it's just 9 minus x.
Yeah.
Right? That's what we've been doing on the left side. There is no other term. Right? When there is no other term, when you square the square root, the square root just goes away. Alright, let's combine like terms on the right hand side, which is only 4 and 9. So that's 13. And I still have a minus x over there. By the way, if you skip this step, that'd be great, because I skipped it all day. Alright, I gotta get rid of the 13 and the minus x. So I'm gonna subtract 13 from both sides, and subtract, or add x to both
Where'd
sides.
you get 13 from?
4 plus 9.
Oh,
So that's 3x minus 20 equals 4 times the square root of 9 minus x. I will pause while you catch up.
And then we square it again.
And then we have to square it again. So, if there's 2 square roots in the problem and there's a third piece of item, you have to square it twice. is when you need music in the video. You do the Jeopardy song? Alright. Now I'm going to square both sides.
Oh, okay.
Alright, squaring that, I get 9x squared. So, right, square the first term. Multiply these two together, and then double it. So it's minus 120x
I'll be done with this.
plus
Wait, you said
400.
What?
I did 3 times 20, and then doubled it. 3 times 20 is 60. 60 times 2 is 120.
Oh, yeah. That's how you do it for like every time.
That's why I do it whenever I have a square, yeah.
How'd you got 60 partner?
3 times 20 is 60.
I was saying times that.
And then you double it, and you get 120. I am now squaring the 4. 16, and then you square the 9 minus the square root of 9 minus x, and the square root just goes away.
That's just 16 times.
144.
Why didn't it double that time?
Huh?
Or why did it?
I only double the one that's not in the square root. The thing in the square, not double, I squared it. Right, I squared the 4, and I'm squaring the square root. When I square the square root, only the square root goes away. Nothing else
But
happens.
how come you didn't have to like 60 equals 6?
Because there's no plus sign in between them. Hey, that's a good question. So I didn't do that weird formula for the 4 root 9 minus x because there's no plus sign or minus sign between them. Did you understand that? There's no plus or minus sign between them, so I didn't have to use that weird trick I did up here. Right? This was 2 plus square root of 9 minus x. This is 4 times square root of 9 minus x. Okay. Cleaning this up. 9x squared minus 120x plus 400 equals 144 minus 16x. Continuing to clean this up, I'm going to move these to the left. So I'm going to subtract 144 from both sides and add 16x to both sides. That gives me 9x squared minus 104x plus 256 equals 0.
And then do we have to do the Lizzie method?
And then we do the Lizzie method.
I hate
Oh my god.
I hate Lizzie.
Low key, I ain't doing it for
Did it say 104x?
Yes.
No, let's get it proper. Everything else.
Ready?
Let's get this proper. Get this proper.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you got one. Bro, do you see that line is in there?
Okay.
Alright, you ain't dancing about getting.
Alright, here we go. So, it's going to be 9 times 256. What are the factors of 9 times 256 that combine to make negative 104? So notice, I didn't actually multiply 9 times 256.
How'd you got that 9 there?
Yeah.
Okay, so usually we do 9 times 256 and get to 2,304, okay? If you're more comfortable dealing with 2,304, then deal with 2,304. Me, I didn't learn using the Lizzie method, so I had a different technique in my head, okay? So I want to take the 9, and then I know that what are some numbers that multiply to make 256? Like 16 times 16 is 256, okay? And I'm going to group these two together. Okay, just watch for a minute. Don't copy this, okay? 9 times 16 is 144. So I'll put this together. 144 times 16 gives me this number over here, 2,304. Okay? Because I know this because 9 times 256 gives me 2,304. 16 times 16 gives me 256. So if I group these two together and then multiply by 16, I still get that number up top. Okay? I'm just changing the order of the factors. So, but what's 144 plus 16? It's not what we need, right? 144 plus 16 is 160. So I try something else. So I'm still keeping the 9. So 16 times 16, I can change that to 8 times 32. Right? If I know that 16 times 16 is 256, I split the 16 into 8 and 2, and multiply the 16 by 2 to get to 32. Okay? So this is just moving more factors around. So now I'm going to put the 9 and 8 together, so it's 72 times 32 makes 2,304. What's 72 plus 32? 104. That's what I need. 104.
I thought it was
Put a
negative.
negative.
Put a negative. So it's negative 72 and negative 32. Now, if you're more comfortable just randomly putting in numbers into 2,304, that's fine. Yeah.
Why are they both?
Okay. In order to get a positive number, they have to be the same sign. Right? To get a negative number, well, I need the negatives.
And we still have to solve for it.
And we still have to solve. All right. So this becomes x minus 72 over 9 and x minus 32 over 9.
How many problems like this do you
2.
I love you.
Okay, even on a test, I'm not going to give you more than 2 of these.
guys? She missed. No,
All right, let's clean this up a little bit. That's going to be x minus 8. And here, if I'm given the factored form, I have to bring the 9 up. Okay?
Do you get proper credit if like if you're doing right, but like if you just like get like one step wrong?
Well, it depends on which step you get wrong. But that's a very good question. And I'm not sure how to answer that question at this point in time. Generally speaking, I'm looking for an answer that's correct. So that's why I'm not going to put more than 2 of these on a test, and probably only 1. Okay?
And then you have to put those.
And then I still have to check the answers. Ready to take the answers?
2 hours for the next test.
Alright. So it's square root of 2 times 8 minus 7 minus square root of 9 minus 8. Is that equal to 2? So that's square root of 16 minus 7 minus, well, 9 minus 8 is 1. Is that equal to 2? What's 16 minus 7?
It's not.
9. Square root of 1 is 1. What's square root of 9? 3. 3 minus 1 equals 2. So that works. So x equals 8 works. Is that what you were saying, Andy?
Wait, was that for 8 or wait?
Yeah, I just tested 8. Does 32 ninths work?
Huh?
I don't think so.
Ready for 32 ninths?
Wait 1 second.
Waiting.
When's our test on this? Or quiz?
Next week, I think.
Next Friday?
Next Tuesday. Next Wednesday.
Is it Friday? I mean,
Next
is it-
Thursday.
Is it a test or a quiz?
I haven't decided.
Make it a quiz.
Here's my
Because I'm adding a new topic day after tomorrow.
You're in 9th grade.
Now we're plugging in the other
In
one.
this class.
It's related to.
Help me out, son.
But
Are we plugging in the other one?
Alright, plug in the other one. Square root of 2 times 32 ninths minus 7 minus square root of 9 minus 32 ninths.
Yeah, what?
Isn't it 9 minus that? Yeah. Is that equal to 2? Okay, so
Yes.
2 times 32 ninths is 64 ninths. And 9 minus 32 ninths is 49 ninths. You're allowed to use a calculator. Remember, we have calculators that do fractions. See? You just put a fraction on there. Does your work. Alright. So 64 ninths minus 7 is 1 ninth. Square root of 1 ninth I'm sorry, square root of 49 ninths is 7/3.
Why is it 1 over 9?
64 over 9 minus 7 is 1/9.
I didn't know that.
Okay.
And what's square root of 1/9? 1/3. So it's 1/3 minus 7/3. Is that equal to 2?
No.
It's not. So this is negative 6/3, which is negative 2, which is not equal to positive 2. So reject the 32 ninths.
I could have noticed that.
Yeah, but this was really close, right? It's just a negative 2 instead of a positive 2. So just because it's an ugly fraction doesn't mean that it's going to be the one that's rejected.
Can we get full credit for homework if we do one of these?
If you break it down,
I mean, like, do the rest just like.
Well, that's usually the case.
That took up the whole back page.
Yeah, if you leave one blank, I guess. Well, one of the papers, they left the whole sheet blank, but it was all crossed out and erased, and I still gave it full credit.
Now, what if I write Jesus? I have not used the Jesus pass.
Yes, but I'm not a.
What's the Jesus pass?
I don't know. All right, okay, you're being recorded. We're not talking about that on video. All right, ready? Moving on. Example M. I promise example M is short. Example N is not though. Example M. Square root of 4 minus 3x equals negative 1 minus square root of 2 minus 2x. Okay. Now, this is when it's in your best interest to really look at the problem. What kind of number is the left side of the equal sign? What kind of number is it? It's a positive number. What kind of number is on the right side of that equal sign? It's a negative number. Can a square root equal a negative number?
No.
No solution.
Bruh.
No work involved. It's just no solution.
Damn. No solution.
Look, that's a negative 1. That's a negative of a square root. That's negative. Negative of a square root is also negative, so there is no hope of the right-hand side becoming positive. That's why it's no solution.
Is number, is one of the ones on top of the solution?
I don't know. I don't remember what the problem was. Alright. Ready for the last example. Example N.
Wait, it's because it's a negative minus square root.
Yeah, negative minus a square root. That means it's got to be a negative number. So if there was a negative 2 in front of there, then it could work. Then you have to do all the work. But there's no negative sign on the left side. So this time I have positive, positive, positive. So it might work. Square both sides. So left side turns into negative 7 minus 2x. The right side turns into negative 4 minus x. So I'm squaring that. Plus 2 times these two multiplied together. So that's square root of negative 4 minus x. Plus 1 squared is 1.
Oh, so you square the whole thing, including the thing on sides.
Yes. Combine like terms. I'm just taking one step and I'll stop.
If they both equal, is that right?
If they both equal 0, what does that mean?
So if it's like square root of 0 equals 0,
Yeah, that's fine.
that's a yes.
Ready?
No.
Remember, you always double it. There was nothing to double, so I just put a 2 there.
Okay, okay.
Ready? Alright. So now I'm going to get rid of the negative 3 minus x over here. So I'm adding 3 to both sides and adding x to both sides. So that becomes negative 4 minus x equals 2 root negative 4 minus x. Really? I didn't notice that today. I got a negative 4 minus x and a negative 4 minus x. Ah, did I do anything wrong?
I don't need that.
No, it doesn't look like it. Alright. Square both sides. So when I square both sides, that turns into positive 16. Positive 8x. Remember, it's negative 4 times negative x and double it. Negative 4 times negative x is positive 4x. Double it makes it 8x. Plus x squared equals, there is no plus or minus sign between the 2 and the square root. So I can just square the 4 and get rid of the square root sign. I will pause while you catch up. Alright, now I'm going to distribute on the right and write this in the order that I like. I like x squared plus 8x plus 16 equals negative 16 minus 4x. All I did was distribute the 4. Add 16 to both sides. Add 4x to both sides. I will pause while you catch up. Alright, what are the factors? What are the factor 32 that combine to make 12? 8 and 4. So it'll be x plus 8, x plus 4. So that gives me x equals negative 8 and x equals negative 4. Ready to check those answers?
No, but don't worry.
Yeah, me neither.
Well, we don't.
But we're almost done. We're almost done, Maya. We're almost done.
Wait.
Huh?
Never.
All right, let's check it out. So I'm doing the check over here. All right, I'm doing the check over here. Can I fit it over there? All right, so square root of negative 7 minus 2 times negative 8, is that equal to square root of negative 4 minus negative 8 plus 1? So that's square root of negative 7 plus 16 and negative 4 plus 8. So that's square root of 9. Is that equal to square root of 4 plus 1?
Yes.
So yes. One more check. So x equals negative 8 is acceptable. Let's. He had to adjust himself.
I've given up. Put myself away. I've read too much and I can't understand numbers anymore.
Alright. Checking the last one. Square root of negative 7 minus 2 times negative 4. Is that equal to square root of negative 4 minus negative 4 plus 1? That's square root of negative 7 plus 8. That's square root of 0 plus 1. Square root of 1. Yes, that works. So both of them work. And there were negative answers.
Oh my God. Wow. I mean, wow.
Welcome to Algebra 2 Honors.
I'm totally gonna use this like 10 years.
Alright.
I might actually